Have you ever felt a gut feeling about a decision, any decision? It could be a life-changing decision, such as marriage, such as finding a job, or what you want to study, or build a relationship or friendship. But you know that the logic and data is just going to take you only far, but the rest you are relying on your gut feeling to make that important decision. Well, today's episode, we're going to talk about this important topic. Hi, my name is Helia Singh. I'm a wealth coach and I can help you to create a long-lasting wealth and becoming financially independent. And in my today's episode, as following of the series of female podcasts, I have a very special guest to introduce you, and she's going to talk to us about intuition and how we can rely on our gut feeling to make important decisions for in our business, in our life, and in our journey, which is life. My guest she is India's first intuition expert, and she's a business executive coach, angel investor, author, and many more after her name. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce my guest, Shraddha Subramanian from India. Hi, Shraddha. Thank you very much for being here.
Hi, Helia. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on this conversation.
Appreciate that. We really love to hear from you. You've got such an impressive resume, and I know that your clients and my audience is just going to learn a lot from this short time we're going to have together. So, if you're okay, so can I start the questions?
Of course, let's go.
The first question I want to ask, because now this time actually I've got some notes to be prepared. I've got questions to ask you. And the first question is, please briefly share your journey on how you become an intuition expert and obviously an executive coach.
Yeah, sure. So my journey basically started, so by education, I am an engineer and I started to work in the IT in the corporate sector, and 15 long years I was into the corporate sector, working in the finance domain, investment banking domain. I loved every bit of it, but there was a direction change of life, which life brought to me in 2012. In 2012, I had cancer. And even before that, I am a national level hurdle racer. So being in sports, having that sports career of, when I was in 5th standard till 12th standard, almost like 7 years of sports career. And then obviously because of engineering, I had to quit my sports. So knowing that I am physically fit as a human being, because I was carrying that fitness, plus you work a lot of it on your mindset as well during your sports journey, because when you attempt at national levels and all of that. So I knew that I am physically fit, mentally fit, and still I allowed something of this in my system. Was a big question for me to answer. That's when I helped myself to get out of it, but there was a strong desire, and I think I am grateful for cancer to come into my life because it gave me a purpose to serve. It told me like why I was sent in this human body, what exactly I'm supposed to do. And it came up like, if I, who has been really positive and happy-go-lucky person in her life, can go through something like cancer, there are a lot of people in the world who are just taking a lot of stress because of small things. I am no judge for them to say small or big, but overall, the way the life is moving, we are moving in the fast-paced life. There is a lot of competition everywhere. You have to just keep proving yourself. There is a very lack of connection with ourselves that people are having these days, leading to depression and all of the other challenges which is happening, it gave me a sense of purpose, saying that if you could go through this, being someone who has been physically and mentally fit, if you could allow something of this because of your emotional space, and I know why it happened because I really dig deep into it and I really understand what emotions can actually bring out to you. So that changed the whole course and direction for me. So I still continued in my corporate career for another almost 6 years while I just did my coach, training. Every year I would keep a goal for myself to learn. So I have done a year of interior designing course and, MBA in finance. And this was one of it, to really go through a coach training and see, like, I am feeling that I can be, a good coach, but do I really have those skills? So when I did that, I realized that I am already coaching people. So that was pretty much the start of the journey. And 2013-14, at my organization, I almost trained 250 odd people, on various topics about self introspection and branding, self branding, knowing themselves first, who they are. So it was like a half a day program I used to run twice a month. And that was something I really looked forward. So my job was one, and this piece I was contributing. And senior leaders having 25, 30 years of experience attended that. So it was like a corporate training run by an in-house trainer. It was exactly like that. The program was structured so that, and people started to book my time post that. And then I discovered that they are getting their solutions just by being my presence. I am not giving them solutions, but I'm just asking a few questions and really being a listener, being present, and it completely shifted. So the whole journey, like by the 2017 end, I was sure I was going to take this path for myself. A lot of people say that we quit the corporate job and then we go for something because we are not happy in the corporate job. I would say I was very happy, but I was only happy with the people side of it. So I love people more than systems and code, and I think that's where the transition happened. So 2018, I took a sabbatical and then I never went back. So it's been 5 years now. I am into this space, and I have been coaching from 2012. So the coaching experience altogether is about 11 years now. But the whole experience of last 5 years, turning it into the space of business and executives. During the pandemic, I actually started to coach business owners because there was a lot that was happening in the business world. A lot of businesses were shutting down. And while I started to do a 20-minute power conversation with business owners, almost I did around 500 people I contributed to in that space. And really going into that, I realized that it's very deep desire of mine to coach businesses. And that also came from an incident. I always call my life is a full circle. So when I was in 10th standard, I missed the India camp, the international, to represent my country. I missed that chance by a fraction of seconds. I made a false start at the nationals of the hurdle race. And that desire to serve my country really, went down. I was disappointed. And over a period of time, I forgot about it, I think, but it was still there. And whenever I see the India flag, it creates something else for me. I always know that. So when I started to coach business owners, I found that I have made to the India camp from this side. So that's where my, the strongest desire to contribute to the Indian economy, to the world economy, one step at a time, one person at a time, one business at a time. It really grew. And this is where I started to coach the executives, the business owners. And this is the whole space that actually has built up. And today Having worked with people from 21 different countries and impacted 7,500 lives, it just feels so immense gratitude and fulfillment that, yes, I have made it to the India camp. So everything in my life is actually a full circle, Helia. I mean, I can go on describing, but this is what pretty much it is, like, how I
Wow,
feel.
what a journey. I really appreciate you sharing those moments with us. And now I can see that, okay, it really makes sense. The background, you would be a sparkling soul. You are a sparkling soul.
Thank you. That's my company name, Sparkling Soul. Yeah.
Well, that's, and there's got many initials as well. So,
Yes, that's why. And I so resonate with it. Like everybody is a sparkling soul. Every one of us is a sparkling soul. It's just that we go on dimming our light based on circumstances, situations, people we deal with. And I think one of the biggest messages I would like people to really take away is you don't have to dim your light. You are a sparkling soul. You don't have to borrow it from someone else. You just need to find your own. It's there inside of you.
beautiful. Well, my listeners, please remember this. You all are a sparkling soul. Now, it's confirmed by Shraddha. So that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I'll go to the next question, if you don't mind. Well, now it's just such a beautiful conversation we had. I really don't want to take it away from this topic, but I'm just going to go to something a bit more businessy, if you don't mind. And
Sure.
I'm just going to ask you about, uh, okay, how would you define intuition? Especially in the world dominated by data, logic, and now AI and everything. So, how the intuition define and how can we tap into it?
It's such a beautiful question, first of all. Thanks for asking that because, this is like a crux of the work that I do. Now, decision making is something that we do every single day, right? We make choices every single day on different ways, different topics, what to wear, what to eat. All of those are decisions, right? And there could be big ones as well that we go on about, whom to marry, what career to opt for. These are the big ones as well that we go on taking. Now, there are only two ways to actually take decisions. One is through statistics. Statistics means your past experiences, all the data, the market research, analysis, all of that is like one side of the game. And another bit is intuitions. So for me, intuitions is basically your internal navigation system, which is on 24 by 7, 365 days a year. It's like always on. It's always there. And each one of us have that internal, that gut feeling, which tells you that this is right. The only challenge that comes today, because we have become a lot logical, we rely more on the data, we rely more on the strategies. And I always keep saying that strategies don't work unless you work. Your best of strategies will fail if you are not aligned to actually execute those. And by alignment, I mean that you are knowing internally, your internal navigation system is with you. You are walking on the same path as your internal navigation system is telling you to. You are not taking someone else's advice or someone else's life and trying to replicate in your life, because you have come from a different source. Your journey is different. You actually have walked at a different pace altogether, you know. So when you try and adapt someone's life into yours, you are actually bringing that inner conflict inside of you, because you're trying to just imbibe these strategies which may not work. The moment you tap into your own self as your intuitive self, your internal navigation system, your sixth sense, your gut feeling, you would realize that what exactly is going to work for me. And if you start to walk on that path, you would be really walking very fast, taking leaps and bounds in your journey. And this is how it's actually bound to happen. So
Wow.
intuitions is is the best thing that we have. All of us have that. And I'm sure you have umpteen number of examples in your life currently so far. It's just that it's replication of them moment by moment. Not calling it as, okay, I just got lucky. No, it that moment you were really aligned what you wanted, your desire, and your outcome, your desire, your navigation, and exactly the outcome. It's like completely in alignment. So I always say alignment comes before any strategy in business. And that's why, I always go on seeking alignment, helping people go on seeking for themselves that alignment. So intuitions is actually alignment. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Wow, what a beautiful way to explain intuition. Having said that, as know for many years, I used to be a financial planner, advisor, and when I become a coach or become a wealth coach, and that's what I've been telling people that look, it's just as a coach I can help you because you think that all the knowledge is out there, but how people use it to make a decision is just how they end up with a different outcome financially. So once they know, I can only help them to navigate through that. So it's just like that. Everybody's got that, as mentioned, it's just like the internal GPS.
Yes.
It's just recharging that GPS. The battery will be always full. So because sometimes data doesn't connect to what is surrounding or it's not working. We just need to make sure everybody's intuition is working 24/7. So then any small decision can be made through gut. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, thank you for that. All right. The next question is I like to ask about intuition and executive coaching in that line. And it is how do you help executives tap into that to trust their intuition? Because I know many executives have, and we are always been, I think, programmed to rely on data, logics, forecasts, all of that. How to help executives to tap into their intuition.
Right. So this is another beautiful question because you are right. The executives are more logical. We are, they are more left brain oriented rather than the right brain. And it's always the question of how. It's never a question of what and why. So whenever, whatever outcome has to be attained, the question comes is how do I do that? It's never like why do I want to do it and then how do I reach there, kind of. So because the how part is actually the data driven part, it's the logical part, which just everybody would want into, you set a goal and then you ask yourself how. That's how it happens. And in the pretty much in the executive coaching world, when I coach executives, they are exactly in the same space. So the beauty actually lies in I take them through a 4-pillar system that I have created. And in that 4-pillar system, obviously, I start with something as tangible outcome. So that's the space, for someone to be taken from logical, from the left brain to right brain, or from, I call intuitions as magical. So from logical to magical, it's quite a journey. Actually, it's quite a journey. But I actually meet them where they are. I don't tell them that you are thinking wrong or, you have to start thinking like this. Nothing of that sort. So I meet them where they are and then take them along on this journey of shifting from being logical to magical. So after we set up a tangible outcome, and mostly it is in form of numbers because business and, businesses need to generate numbers. That's how it is. So when the number is set, what exactly is the outcome that we are looking at, and sometimes I ask them to actually tap into something unreasonable number they want to really achieve. So I say, okay, go add a zero at the end, or go add two zeros at the end of your expected outcome, or the outcome that you feel you will be creating in the next 6 months. So when it becomes unreasonable, it blows out their mind, like, why are you talking about this number 10x 100x? Because we are seeing that reaching the number we thought itself is a big challenge, right? So I start there, I meet there where they are logically, to get that number. And from that space, then I actually take them that, okay, let's move another step of bringing alignment first. Now at this moment, you are not able to, you're not going to create it, you see it really that way, it seems unreasonable. So that builds a curiosity in them, that how she is actually able to take us to the 10x 100x. Let's actually see how that can be done. So the openness from their end starts to happen when I meet them where they are. And then the work flows in such a manner that, when their openness starts, their curiosity starts to build in, they are more open to see what can bring them into alignment, because obviously the number excites them. The 10x, the 100x excites them. So then we go on identifying the blocks and bring into alignment, and then really doing the energy work. That energy and intuitions is my piece of work actually in business. So I don't go with strategies, I actually go about alignment through energy and intuition. So energy, intuitions, and alignments are three things that I really help my people with. This is how I go about it. So then we do the energy work to start shifting the orbit, receive those premium clients, and then they really start to realize that this is how it's happening. And on the go, like, I have umpteen number of examples where people started to work with me, even on a free discovery call, you're not kidding, has generated business for people.
Wow.
So that's my intention, because I am a hurdle racer. I believe in speed. And that's where I feel, as a coach, it's my responsibility to deliver faster results. So any which ways, I'm a sprinter. So I love speed. And I would not want my clients to wait for, finish 3 months, 5 months, a year, and then start to see results. I would like them to start from the discovery call itself. And that's exactly what it builds. So in the space of executive coaching, when they are logical, I meet them there. Then I build the curiosity for them. With the curiosity, the openness starts to happen. And then, the evidences also starts to show up, because now they are curious, now they are open, now they are ready to take the path. So the evidence starts to flow, and then the evidence actually builds the trust. So this is how, actually beautifully crafted way, this is where I go about it, and that's where it brings the results for them, really.
That's great. And you beautifully said it, from logical to magical. And that was
Indeed.
I'm going to use that phrase. I'm going to definitely give credit to you, but I love that. I love that. So for my listeners, in the future, you hear me saying from logical to magical, you know where does it come from. That's beautiful. Look, I can hear some people start thinking that, okay, many times some people have made a decision which they thought that they listened to their intuition, but it was a wrong decision. And was it at least the wrong outcome? How can they listen? How can we really listen to our intuition, to our gut feelings, not talking or listening to something else which is nagging us to make us another? Is there a tip to recognize what is actually feeling or the intuition?
It's very simple. Actually, when people say that they listen to their inner voice and take a decision and it went wrong or it didn't work for them, actually it was not intuition, it was their thinking, to be very honest. So intuition never guides you in a space where you I won't say you are not going to fail. It's telling you that go ahead and take this path. And if you don't take it, obviously you are in a different space altogether. So intuitions will always, always, always guide you on the right path. There is no failure on the space of intuitions. Now, to identify whether you are actually listening to your intuitions or you are thinking, that's a distinction, because your thinking can bring that inner voice, and your intuitive self can bring your inner voice. So how do you identify whether I'm thinking or I'm actually, my intuitions are telling me something? See, there is a very, very easy way to distinguish. Thinking will always create a fear.
Interesting.
It will tell you that this may go wrong, this is how it is, this is now not, it's not going to work. All of that, is your thinking. Your intuitive self is very calm, peaceful. It's going to give you that confidence. It's going to be like, I'm sitting here very peacefully, very energetically, in my power, really in my power, knowing that, oh, wow, it's like a light bulb moment. Oh, wow, I am in alignment. I am more energetic. My facial expression really grows. Somewhere I feel it just hit me hard. We all have that. So thinking is fearful. Thinking is in the space of maybe long sentences. Thinking is actually shrinking you. Think about it. Energetically, you will find when you are thinking and a voice hits you, you will suddenly start to shrink. But intuitively, when you are having that intuitive hit, there will be a huge expansion in that moment. And I'm sure each one of us has felt it, only thing that we have not noticed it. We have not given an attention. And I really request all the listeners to really get into this piece. The moment you start to bring to awareness that this is my thinking, this is my intuitive self, the more and more you'll be able to tap into your own gut feeling. So your gut feeling, your intuitive self will only speak a word to you. It's not going to be long sentences. It's going to be like a word. It's going to be like just a picture, just an image that will flash for you.
Wow.
It will be clairvoyance, clear audience, maybe, some feeling on your skin,
Yeah.
that might be there. You sense something very strongly, right? Before this conversation we started, we both were feeling something very strongly, right? That's the intuitive connection, that's the intuitive space actually.
Wow.
So intuitions will never let you down. Intuitions will never shrink you. Intuitions will always expand you. They will always be like coming in one word or two, one word, just like a flash, it will come to you, either in your ears if you are a auditory person. If you are a visionary, you will be vision oriented. You'll see a flash of some image. That's it, kind of a thing. And I think that's the differentiation. So yes, now you would know that how you identify whether it is intuition or you're thinking.
Wow, that's beautiful. One of my questions was going to be that, is there any side effect to over relying on intuition? But now, with what you explained, I'm not going to ask that question, because it's obviously no. Once you are with your intuition, you can't think.
Nothing is going to happen if you follow your intuitions. You are actually expanding. You are on your soul journey. You are on your path, and you're taking leaps and bounds very easily like that.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for this. You have given us a lot of tips, a lot of actually coaching. You have given generously to my audience and including myself, which I really, really appreciate and feel blessed for that. Thank you so much. So, how my audience can get in touch with you? What is the best way that they can touch with you? And I know you mentioned you have a free code for discovery codes for those who are seriously looking to take that journey. So please share those details with us.
Okay, first of all, thank you for asking those questions, because I always say, whatever has to come out in this space. So you provided that space, Helia. The container has to be there for things to really show up and, come out in this manner. So thank you so much. It means a lot to be here. Discovery call, I can share a link, and it's a 45-minute free discovery call where I actually help you identify your root blocks. So a lot of people come up with superficial blocks. For example, I'm procrastinating, but the root blocks have been very many different. For example, one of the art gallery owners I was doing a discovery call with, um, he wanted to expand his business. Nothing was going wrong, but the expansion was not happening. Now, he was feeling that I'm not doing a lot of effort to do it. And I just asked him a simple questions, because with my intuitions, I can tap into people's energies much faster. And almost in 3 minutes of time, I just get the root of it. I provide 45 minutes for listening, so that people can share what exactly they are feeling. But I think I have my things ready within the first 3 minutes of conversation to share. So so I just asked him, like, how was your childhood? And he just mentioned to me that, I was the youngest of the child, and for anything and everything I was sent to my elder ones. And that's where he missed his connection with his parents, and he missed that a lot. So nothing wrong with what parents did, it is just what they did. But now he was just trying to be around his sons by, giving them quantity time, but in the back of his mind he was seeing that he's not expanding. So he was like not really there, but there kind of a thing. So it was like quantity time versus quality time. And it was a mind-blowing outcome for him, knowing this, that this is my pattern I'm running, and this is my pattern. And post our conversation with the discovery call itself, he went on expanding his art gallery. He directed a movie. He has another business that he has started. We didn't work further after that, but just with discovery call. And today also he is in touch. He has so high regards, and he just keeps sharing his new stuff with me. And that gives me immense pleasure, that there is a lot that is scooped out already in the discovery call. For me, I start the coaching with solutioning. I don't start with the start the paid work with identifying the root block. So that way I'm already taking away like 2-3 sessions out from the coaching engagement, because I love speed, right? And with my intuitive spaces, I can identify faster. So if an action has to be taken, you are not taking an action, I know where you are coming from, what exactly lying there. So your root block will be completely sorted in the first conversation, and then the rest of the journey is much faster. So I am here, Helia, to be disruptive in the coaching industry, where in this world we are talking about 5 minute, 10-minute delivery of your products. We are actually really building up into the AI space to be more faster. I think we as coaches have a lot of responsibility to not sit isolated as an industry, but to move fast, to really cater to people, to really tell them and speak to them and show them that how fast they can make the change in themselves. They don't have to really sit with it for 6 months. And I massively cut down the preparation for change time with my intuitive space, because change happens in a flick of seconds, right? That's how it is. So I will leave one example here, that if you leave a cow on a golf course and she is tied with a peg, so she can graze till the circumference of the circle depending on the rope, depending on the length of the rope, right? And that's what pretty much every human being is. She can't make an orbit shift because she's tied with a peg. And she doesn't know she's tied with a peg until she is almost at the circumference, because till then it is comfortable for her to graze, right? And if you remove that peg, the golf course is open for the cow. And such is life and business for a human being.
So
I know that as an intuition expert, I am master of removing that peg in human life, in human beings. So
love that. I love
my full intention would be to just, just help people remove that peg in a free discovery call so that you are already expanding. And the rest is like, okay, whatever comes, right? You are so in that space, energetic space, whatever it is. But then I know that I can do that. And I do that very easily for all the people I've connected.
That's so generous of you. I love that. You've mentioned a few keywords that I love them. One is being disrupting the coaching movement, which is, I know with all the respect to many other coaches, some they take forever to get to the result, but now focusing on solution from the even first call, that's absolutely a business disruptor, and I love that. Out of that, removing the peg, again, that's another, gosh, one of those things that there's a stay with you, that, okay, I have to remove the peg to go further. I love that. And again, yes, from logical to magical. Very successful engineer to become such a successful coach. I can say that was from logical to magical journey, which thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We definitely will share a link there, and I assume our audience can reach to you via LinkedIn and
Definitely.
website, whatever else you share with us. We'll put it in the comment section. Thanks again for being here, and to my beautiful audience, please slow your comments. I know if you are as excited as me, I'm sure you will. It's going to the next few months. Honestly, I haven't seen that many engineers and at the same time very, very intuitive, and as well as, of course, expert coaches like you who generously are ready to share life. And definitely, I can say that you are holding the flag by yourself.
Thank you so much. It means a lot, really, Helia, you saying that. And I feel really honored to be here. Thank you so much because, you are there to hold the flag and share the message. But people like you who invite me to share that, it means a lot because I am reaching more and more people. So really appreciate whatever you are doing for people around the world. And I'm sure we are in the business of blessings. I always say that coaching is a business of blessings. And I think by this conversation itself, I'm sure the audience must have received a lot already. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Everyone, have a happy, healthy, wealthy life. Bye for now.